day 4 or 5, I'm not sure, of my carnivore diet, and I'm still glowing and happy as hell. So I don't know what to say. I'm over the moon. So what I also wanted to tell you is what I ate the last couple of days. I'm not on a strict carnivore. I gonna say why and how I introduced my 10 years old son since yesterday evening and today at breakfast to amazing recipes I just tried out, and I'm so happy because it's delicious, it's very good, and yeah, you can convince even my mom did use a bite. So after a period of time where I experiment with the food, that it really, really tastes good. That's what I'm a really bad cook. I'm horrible at cooking actually, but I'm good in experimenting with food, and sometimes it comes out very good. So for me, it's now easier with carnivore just to experiment because I have a less palette of things I can use for this experiment, and that actually helps me to create something better. So if I do an egg, I can combine it with some fresh cheese and stuff like that, and just figure out the best way to make the perfect egg. And that's the cool part right now because you can improve, and with the fat and the good stuff in there, it's really tasting good. It can taste amazing. And yesterday I also baked a cake. It's crazy. I'm gonna tell you what I put in because we watched Nailed It on Netflix and we were craving, cake. And I said to my son, okay, I'm gonna try to make cake with the ingredients that I can use, and let's just try it out. And it was good. It's a lot of improving still, but it's good. So the other thing I also wanted to talk about are a little bit of the doctors, because after watching a lot of people sharing their experience with carnivore and talking about their diseases and the hell they went through, since I have multiple sclerosis, I was diagnosed with Hashimoto, so it's two autoimmune diseases. I have a disc prolapse, which actually killed me because I couldn't walk. I had a very bad injury from boxing. So I had like one of the girls, and I think her channel is called 5 Minutes, and she interviews a lot of people, and she just talked about her medical journey, and she was diagnosed with thousands of stuff, ADHD, anxiety, OCD and stuff like that. And you have this autoimmune disease. I think she called 10 auto diseases. And that's actually what was starting to happen to me. They started, in the beginning, they thought I'm crazy. They wanted to put me in a loony, how do you call it, hospital. And then they saw, oh, okay, her brain has lesions. Oh, she has multiple sclerosis. She's not crazy. She does really feel hot, cold, or, something, it feels like a snake is going through my body. And that's because your nerve system is giving wrong signals to your brain, and it cannot interpret what is actually happening. So if you have hot water, it feels like it's so cold, but you're burning, for example. And I couldn't walk. I couldn't. They ordered the wheelchair. That was that time. That was really, really bad. And even then, when I started cutting out sugar, I get to know one friend. I was with him walking yesterday, and that's so funny because I talked with him about carnivore. So I'm gonna get into this because that's really interesting. But when I was the worst with my disease, and they ordered a wheelchair, I couldn't walk even 100 meters. I was just, done. I was done. I was depressed. It was horrible. Everything went really, really bad because you don't understand what is happening in your body. Everything is wrong. It's completely wrong. Every feeling you have in your hands started, you have spiders all over your body. It's just horrifying. Even thinking about it, I got, and the one thing then happened when I think about it, it was 2019 when it started. And I got to the hospital and everything. And I talked to this guy, I got to know this guy. And he was sharing a little bit the same, life, because we have the same interests, we have the same work at the time, and everything was similar. And we started talking about, how to improve life, how to change the way you're eating, and we were exchanging books and starting to get into these topics. And then at the time, I stopped eating sugar because I think he was sending me a book about sugar and stuff like this. So I really quit sugar because I thought maybe it's getting better. And that was the time when I got better. I really got better. And then I went to the hospital and the doctor said, oh my God, actually, I didn't believe you will walk ever again. And I said, okay, whoa. I didn't expect you to say that to me. I was expecting you to say, okay, it's going up and down and then you will function normal after a time. She said, no. Because your lesions are very big and very present here in this area and the brain part. So you are very much likely to get in a wheelchair because it's very progressive, and your hands and your legs are affected by the position of the lesions that are happening. So actually with MS, your body is just fighting yourself. So it's trying to destroy the good things in your body, if you want to say it like this. And that was somehow, I was really getting also in a good shape. I went to a rehabilitation center and they helped me, to work out, and I was really fine and I was doing really good in about maybe 1 or 2 years. And then I don't know what it was, but when I think about it, I went to Bosnia. I had a boyfriend there, so my stress level was very up and I was eating shit and junk because I was driving 6 to 10 hours every 14 days in one direction and back. So I had about 20 hours in the car and it was very stressful. And also driving to him, all the relationship part was not pleasant then with the driving and so on. And one thing we started doing, it's because it's a cheap country. It's a very cheap country. They don't have money. So at the time, I didn't have that much money to really, buy food and do all this stuff. So I was there and we tried to buy cheap food. And that's why we bought a lot of, the stuff you're doing the bread with, wheat, not the drugs. I don't know the English word. And we started baking, a lot of bread because that's the cheap part in where I was born in Bosnia. So, and at that time, I thought it was stress because the MS, and when you get worse, also correlates with stress, they say sometimes, and your mental health. So I thought I got into the worse part again because I was stressed. But now thinking about it, the one thing also changed at the same time was actually that we started eating a lot of bread and a lot of sugar because he was like always having Nutella and at home and chocolate, cream and all this stuff. And his mother always brought some cake. So it was actually daily bread and sweet stuff. And I started gaining weight again. And so it was, I was just going around and around and thinking about now and talking about now. It's really interesting because I always thought it was stress, but now thinking back, it can be both. It can be, but also one thing. So that was very interesting. And I think that's the problem to talk about doctors with the doctor part, because they see one thing and they assume, like I did, because a doctor is a human being. I am a human being. I am an academic human being. I have 3 university degrees. So I know, you think in numbers, you think in data, and you see, okay, she's stressed out. One of the symptoms from MS that causes all this getting worse is stress. So, okay, yeah, she's stressed. So she needs to work on her mental health. That's the solution. But one thing most of the doctors don't do is ask what else happened. What else is happening? Did you take some, other things? Did you eat something else than normally? What is happening? And help you to get there in a psychological kind of way to really get the right answer, because they don't have time for that. And I do get it. I do really get it. And I'm alive because of doctors. I 2 times almost died. So I am alive and I'm thankful for all these human beings, I'm gonna cry, who helped me, But I think that a lot of doctors are blindsided, or they're just seeing one thing, and because they don't have time to see right and left. And one thing also the doctors are, because I worked in a medical field, so I know a lot of doctors. I was sitting having lunch with about 100 of doctors, listening to their conversations, and having the big picture, how they think, how they talk, what's important to them. And most of them, so if you look at the big picture, most of them, not everybody, most of them are very competitive. And competition, they see it as a field where they can get very, very good and be the best in that. So they don't have time to look on other fields and to do understand the big picture. So most of them think in a very small area, and then they're getting the best in that area. And that is, on the one hand, an amazing thing, because if you have a surgery that knows exactly how to deal with something you have in your brain, then you are lucky that you have somebody like that. But in the variety of the things that most people have, and they have a lot of diseases suddenly, and a lot of things going wrong, and not only one thing is happening in their body, or they have an accident and their knee is broken and something like that, but they have actually a lot of things happening. It's very difficult to find a doctor that is not specialized on one thing and telling you one thing, and somebody to find that has a big picture. And I'm lucky, because in that kind of people and social environment, I did to get to know a lot of doctors, and I still stayed friends with them. And there are a lot of people that think differently. So I had a lot of them helping me through finding what is wrong with me, in being very open-minded, and giving me tips and check this and do this and try this. And they were not, but it's that, you have to deal with it. And so don't always say doctors don't know what to do, they're stupid. It's not, but most of them are not stupid. They're just focused and are too specialized to see the big picture, just because of time and the way that also universities in a medical field work. It's very difficult to have people that are a little bit more of that. And I had a doctor that I went to hypnosis, because she said the normal way she was working with medicine is very interesting and everything, but it was not enough for her and her whole family, and everybody is in that medical field. And she said it's just not enough. And her sister started being a hypnosis doctor, and she did just look at her, what she's doing with people, and she started doing that too. And when I get to know her, I think I always believe in God, and God's showing me the way. And that time I really believed it. I'm gonna cry because it's unbelievable. She just showed up in my life in a very strange way, because I was doing my nails and this woman was very happy, and I said, oh, how can you be that happy? Last week you were very angry. And she said, yeah, I went to hypnosis and she kind of changed my mindset. And I said, okay, that sounds interesting, let's do it, give me her number. And I only went once to this girl for the nails, so I usually don't go there. So I think it's really something that's amazing. And I only went to her because my hairdresser had beautiful nails, and I said, oh my god, my nails are breaking down, I don't know what is happening, they're hurting me, I need somebody to fix them, because it's really hurting me. So it's not about the beauty, it's about really the hurting part. And that's how I get her. So I'm a big believer in science and God. And so when I went to her, it turned out she had MS. And she helped me, because she's a doctor, she's a licensed and everything doctor, and she was figuring out that her health with other doctors, and she went through the same things like I did, finding what causes the problems with her friends, with everything. And she said she don't want to get there, she don't want to go to have chemicals in her bodies and so on. So she was trying to find all the alternatives that they are out there before she go to do chemical things and put it in the body. Because the problem with all the medication we have is that they have side effects, and the side effect can in my medication also be to have cancer then. So thank you, I don't have maybe MS symptoms, but now I'm getting struggling then with cancer or tumors or whatever. So that's fucked up. That's so fucked up. And that's why she, you know, experimented with various kind of things like cold exposure and all these things, and, you know, changing the way she was eating. And that was interesting because she actually, he did talk to me about, you know, the butter and this thing, but she also eats the vegetables and everything. And but still she eat a lot of meat. And at the time everybody said to me, don't eat meat at all. And I was like, oh, why do you eat meat? I don't get it. Because everybody's saying it's so bad for you, and fat, don't eat that, it's bad for you, especially for MS. I don't get it. And so I can tell you there are doctors out there who are open to different kind of things, and that are not, you know, crazy people, but they actually just went through all the school medicine part and saw people struggling and just said to themselves, I don't understand that, I don't want that for the people I'm healing, I need something else, it's not helping. So Dr. Gabor I got this book a few months ago. He's you know, a doctor who worked with a lot of cancer patients and MS patients and so on. And he said, your body is telling you no, because when you have autoimmune diseases or something that is not caused by an accident or something, your body is telling you to stop whatever you're doing, stop. Maybe it's stress, maybe it's people that are toxic, maybe it is something you're eating, maybe it is something you're taking in the meds, or, you know, whatever it is. And that's the thing. There are doctors out there who look outside, and he said also they don't look outside. And I talked to the patients and we talked about it, and every patient he was talking to and get deeper into their health issues, everybody had something in their past that happened and that are real big triggers, like heavy triggers. So that's the doctors you need. That's the doctor you need to find and look for them. If you want to have a doctor, and if you know, you don't have to actually, but I have to. And I was lucky after having a very bad one in the hospital, and he was the chief there. So he was the best of the best, and he was treating me, but he was treating me like crap. He was so disgusting, such a disgusting human being. And the way he was talking to me, I was in severe pain and I needed help. I needed really help. I just want to, you know, quit life because I was in such severe pain and nobody could help. And, you know, your body getting and you're feeling like ants and spiders are crawling over you the whole day. It's just, you get crazy. You get completely crazy. And he didn't help me. He was treating me like I'm, you know, an idiot. And why didn't I use the meds when a year ago? And I said, I was not prepared for that. I honestly was not prepared to use medicine because I didn't understand what I'm having, and I wanted to understand that. And he was so angry with me that I didn't took the medicine, that he didn't help me when actually something bad happened at the time. And I needed help. I needed the medicine at the time. And he just didn't help me. And then I was so lucky because it happened again, and it was out of he was on vacation. So I rushed into the hospital because it was just horrifying. And then I was lucky, then there was a young girl, doctor, and I got to her and I was skeptical and I was like, oh no, she's so young. You know, she's just out of med school, maybe not, she looks younger, but she is a few years out of med school. And we start talking and I felt so good with her. I felt hurt. I'm gonna cry again. I felt hurt the first time, and she did help me immediately, and I was on cortisone and it helped me. And that's why I say you need sometimes medicine, because it wouldn't work at the time in this moment to just change something, you know, because I needed help. I needed really help, and I needed chemical help at the moment. And then it started getting better. So I was able to function and these symptoms stopped. And it was horrifying. It was horrifying. And then I was so thankful for God that he brought me to her. So I changed doctors. And now I'm with her. And when this all now, because of the meds I'm having, they are, you know, better. But the side effects started. A few weeks ago, I started with the full dose, and this heavy side effects started. And I was always having the flu. I had headaches. I was sick all the time, and I thought, is this my life? Is this gonna be my life? Maybe I don't have like these big issues with hands and to walk, but is this going to be my life, really? To always be in some kind of pain and having some kind of side effects and not working at all and everything. So that's unbelievable. And that moment when I was lying in bed, I had a video before where I talked about it, how I got into the carnivore thing. It's just, it just changed my life for now. It doesn't mean that it's going to be like that. It's not, I'm not saying that this is the answer to all of my problems. I'm not saying that. But even I'm so thankful for the last 4 to 5 days that showed me a completely different side of things that happen and that work, that started working for me. And maybe I will be in a bad situation again, but for now these 5 days were better than all of the days before in my life. I'm feeling clarity. I feel like I'm on drugs. I don't know, it's natural drugs. I feel good in my skin. I was inspired yesterday to go outside, to go into the city. I wanted to go outside and just see people. That's not something I did, for a long time, because I had so much anxieties and I just couldn't go out, and I didn't want to go out, and it just something switched, and I just want to be outside. I wanted to be around people. I wanted to be, with my son and the sunlight and everything. And it's really something that was not natural given to me for a long period of time. And that's why I'm saying it did already change my life. And it doesn't matter if it's going the wrong direction after 7 days, or if I'm skipping and I can't do it and I'm failing. I don't care. I'm so thankful for these couple of days, and I cannot say it. If you did, like me, try everything, and went through hell with all stuff you have, and even if it's anxieties, even if it's depression, even if it's some health issues, just try something. And this was completely different than anything else. And I wanted to talk about recipes. I'm so sorry, but I think it's important, to see what hell can look like, and how you can get, or even if for a few days, get out of this hell. And I cannot say what is happening after that. So let's get back to what do I eat. I do not strict carnivore where you only eat meat and salt and water. I think that's too much. I think that's something for me for now. I think I have the feeling I would get there, because naturally. So what I realized is I didn't restrict myself. I did restrict myself to animal products, and I did challenge myself to find cool things I can experiment and still be satisfied with this palette of things I have. And also I allowed myself fruits. I only have apples and bananas in my right now at home. And I realized after 1 day eating a banana, the first 2 days, the third day I didn't want to eat banana anymore. That was strange. I still wanted to eat apple, but apple juice mousse, some kind of. But even now, I'm not sure if I want to eat that. So your body naturally responds to things after a couple of days. And it's getting so fast there. And the thing is, it's really tough, or it really was tough for me the first 2 to 3 days, is to put butter and a lot of fat, and the things you were taught it's bad for you, to put it all together and to almost fry it and stuff like that, and then to put cream cheese on it, and then to put butter in my coffee, and all these things that are actually tastes amazing. But I was so scared that I will gain a lot of weight, because I need to lose 10 kg to be in that position where my body, I think, needs to be. I feel it needs to be there. So not even 10 kg, maybe 7. And it's amazing how the body works when you take away all this crap that makes your gut sick, and you don't even know which one of the things are making you sick, but you're still eating normal, and then your cravings, and this thing is for people who cannot do moderation. All these people who say, yeah, then eat in moderation, you can eat everything. It's true, but these are not people that were overweight in the first time. It's not. Nobody who was overweight can tell somebody, eat in moderation. I would never saw somebody who does that, because people gain that much weight because they are just not capable to eat in moderation. I can't do it. I can't not do it, but even if my life depends on it, I cannot do it. If I eat a sugar, I can do it in moderation for 3 to 5 days, and then I'm starting binge eating. And that's what is happening in your body with carnivore. What I realized, when you just eat the animal and the fat and the protein, your body responds naturally by not being hungry, by not having cravings, telling you what you need. My body, the first time, is talking to me. My body is saying, today you need an apple. I said, okay, I need an apple. My body is saying to me, I need an apple. So I'm gonna eat an apple. And the next couple of days, my body is saying, thank you for the apple. You made me happy. Today you don't need it. This time you don't need anything sweet. Sweet in still the animal product range. So what I am eating in the morning, and I think I will get over it and kind of, switch back and forth just to have the variety. But yesterday I ate egg with some fresh cheese, like the white fresh cheese, and then some normal cheese on it. Sorry. And then I just, baked it, and I ate it with some cream fraiche. So that was delicious. It was so delicious. And I was full. I was full until I was eating at 8 o'clock, and then I was really, really full. I couldn't even think about food. That's the funny part. I ate. I was satisfied. It was one of the best breakfasts I ever had. And I was so satisfied and happy. And I didn't want to eat until 2, naturally. And I was crossing, we were shopping, and I was everywhere. I know, the donut shop and the sushi shop and this and that. And normally I would say, it's okay, I would even, have a bubble tea, or I would have a little donut or something like that. I'm craving it. It's okay to eat that. But I didn't have that. I was looking at this sweet stuff and all this processed food, even after 2 days, completely different. And it happens naturally. I didn't force myself. I didn't say, it's bad. But I just looked at it and I was disgusted. I was actually just, my body reacted to it. It's disgusting. Maybe it will switch. I don't say that. Maybe it's just, temporary. But for now, that's what that I just want to share what is happening. And the one thing that actually is also interesting is that I naturally am not that hungry because of the protein, because the fat, and I'm satisfied because it's tasty. It's really, really tasty, and you can make it tasty with really being able to use the butter and use the creme fraiche, and don't be afraid of the calories. Believe me one thing, I'm losing weight, and I've never eaten more in my life, and I'm just crying again, and never been happier, and my hormones just balance it out, and it's like my body the first time is working with me. My body is saying, thank you, finally you got it, you stupid girl. We can do it together, but give me what I want, and not what you think I want, and not what your brain thinks you want. Just give me that what I'm telling you, and start listening to it. And that's what actually really, I feel it. It's like my body is an organism, a live organism that is talking to me. It's totally strange, but I think most of the people will realize that. And the friend of mine I told you before, we were walking, and he said, it sounds like you are in ketosis. I have no clue what this is about and how this works and whatever, because all the things that are happening, or, the chemistry, after being with that much doctors and studies and crap like this, I just don't listen to that anymore. I'm just listening to my body, and I even don't want to understand the science behind it. I just want to understand my body. I just want to have this natural experience to share, not based on some, you know, big buzzwords, because that's what's happening in my body and that's what I'm feeling. And I don't care how it's called, if it's called ketosis or boo boo. I really don't care. The thing I do care is that it makes me feel amazing. It makes me feel energetic. It makes me feel the first time not depressed, happy, balanced. My hormones are just getting there. My body is talking to me and I'm reacting to my body. I'm listening to it. I'm eating what he wants me to eat and not in the sugary stuff, because the body naturally started not to want that. He naturally just started to say, I want fat. I want something light. He does tell me I want tomatoes. He does that. I want some salad. I don't eat that. I want to introduce this kind of foods maybe in after a month or two doing carnivore, and just see if my body reacts well to it, or if he says to me, you know what, I thought I want tomatoes, but your gut is getting very unhealthy because, you know, it's not a good thing for you. Then that's why carnivore is an elimination diet, so you can eat it, you're still feeling, you know, amazing, and then starting introducing different kind of foods and see how your body reacts. And that's how I just want to see it for now. And for now I have the feeling I'm gonna stick to the carnivore thing, but sometimes maybe have a tomato or something like that if it doesn't make me sick. That's how I feel right now, but I don't know, you know, what happens after a few days. And the most interesting part also is we're going away for 1 week to Bosnia. That's gonna be a big challenge because they do have a lot of meat. They're totally a meat country, which is good. And so this part will be easy, but there are also a lot of bread and a lot of sugary stuff. So it's going to be very interesting how I handle this, because my grandfather is cooking all the time. But he cooks also, you know, only healthy soups and stuff like that, but still he's cooking all the time. And you know, my mom and everybody is just going to eat pita, and stuff like this. So it's going to be tough to be around that. Maybe not. But they are also eating cevapcici and stuff like that. But the only thing I'm a little bit concerned, they use the cheap, bad oil thingies. So yeah, we're just gonna see. I have to experiment. That's the only thing I can do. So I'm already in 5 days, and then I'm starting actually to be challenged by a holiday, by being around family who eats, you know, it's holiday, we're gonna eat everything. And you know, being in a very small space where I cannot buy everything and cook everything like I want to because of the space there, and you know, the way just it works at my grandfather's home is a little bit disgusting, honestly. So I don't want to even touch food. So it's going to be very challenging. So yeah, and today, because of my son, it's so cool. Yesterday I made a tuna with cheese, and then I baked it in cheese called, I think, the butter thing, and then I put it in the oven, and it was like a little, I make a roll out of it, and I put on some creme fraiche, and it was so tasty. It was so good. It was amazing. It was so satisfying. And I eat a lot of cheese. I eat a lot of creme fraiche and this kind of things, and all this, you know, meat-based things, because they're satisfying me, and I need that right now. I need to be satisfied. I need to eat more of that. Then I will go back to eating, you know, something sweet with sugar. And that's also interesting. So my son had that, and some salmon. I did little rolls, and yeah, and some curry, some meat, you know, which is same like bacon, but it's a little bit different. And yeah, that was the main course, and he was satisfied because that's all he really likes, and that's all I really like. So one girl said, and it's really cool, not to eat one kind of thing, but to have 2 or 3 different kind of things on your plate. That makes you more satisfied because you can switch in between, and you have the feeling you are eating more variety, even if it's still meat-based or fish-based or whatever you're eating, but having just different kind of things. And it was an amazing tip. I didn't do that before. Then the third day I did it, and it was a life changer. Really, it was completely changing the feeling of eating. So this was very helpful. My son was happy, and then we watched Nailed It, and so we wanted to have something sweet, and I figured out what do I have at home. We had mascarpone, and I watched some carnivore vlog, and I mixed the mascarpone with protein powder, vanilla protein powder. I do use that. I need it. I need the protein intake. I don't eat much. I don't eat big portions, and I cannot get the protein intake right now. My body will respond to that after. He will get naturally there. I know it. I feel it. But for now, I need to give my body that in a different kind of way. And that's why I need to give him right now protein powder to just have the protein intake I need, because it's 110. And when I didn't do that, I just came to around 60 grams of protein. And even switching the meat up, I couldn't eat more than 60 grams of protein. But a love of God, I couldn't manage it. And that's why I, had the different kind of approach to that with protein powder, because you can really do cool stuff with protein powder. So for now, I think that's a good thing to do for me, so I can get over all this until my body reacts normally and I can eat normally. And I'm telling you, your body will talk to you. It will say, now you're ready, now you can stop the protein powder, now you can stop the milk, now you can stop this. Your body will tell you that. I'm sure. I hear it. I hear him talking, her. So that's one thing. Then I mix the protein powder with a little bit of mascarpone, with a little bit of cream cheese, which is not salty. It's called quark in my country. And one thing I did, it's the egg white. I did, do it with a mixer and baked it. So you will have like a pizza, like just an egg white pizza thing, because it's getting hard and it's getting like, you have something where you can put all the creamy cheese. It's like cheesecake, and then I put everything in, and then I mixed some whipped cream, without sugar, without anything, and then I put it on. So everything was without sugar, everything was meat based, and besides the apple, just apples without sugar, it's just mixed apples, and then I put it on. And that's it. And that was cake, because my son has birthday a few days, no, some days later, and I wanted to think about how I can make cake for myself while they are eating normal cake, so it wouldn't feel strange that I'm eating I don't know what. So that's what I discovered I wanted to do. I wanted to have cake, but have my cake, and it's working really well. It did really taste amazing. It tastes amazing. And I love whipped cream. I love mascarpone. So it was an amazing combination. And I put some bananas on his, but I didn't use on mine. Even it looks better, or tastier. But my body just said, I don't want to eat bananas right now. And I ate a banana, one bite of it that day, and it tastes horrible. I don't know if it just was a bad banana, which I never experienced before. It tasted like some strange meat liver. I don't know. Liver. I did eat liver. It's the most disgusting thing I've ever done in my life. I didn't expect that, honestly. I had the liver, and it was, even to touch it, and then I put it in the thing, and then it just blopped out, and it makes so gross sounds. And I was eating it, and it was so unbelievable. I hated it, but I still ate it, and it really made me full, and it made me amazing that day. So I think I'm gonna force myself to eat liver, because it's really, a good thing. I can feel it in my body, but my mouth does want to agree with that. That's the only thing I am going to force maybe myself to eat heart and liver and all this kind of things, because it's good for the vitamins. So yeah, and today in the morning we ate some pancakes. I did with also the protein powder and eggs and milk. I make a pancake, and then I put on some mascarpone, and I did use it in a lot of butter, so it was also tasty. And then for my son, I put some bananas on it, and I put for him also some syrup, because he doesn't like the taste of the protein powder, and I have to improve that. I have to improve to make it softer, because it's really hard, and it's not amazing like I did it. So I need to experiment with it. Maybe some yogurt or so, something that makes it more fluffy. I have to experiment with all kind of that, but I'm looking forward. I'm looking forward to experiment these kind of things until it's perfect. And even my 10-year-old son will say it's perfect. And then he was still hungry, and I make him some egg omelette with cheese on the top and some steak because he wanted steak. He told me he wanted something, you know, like steak and some egg things. And I said, okay, you're still hungry, you're gonna eat that. But we're not gonna eat until, you know, until we need to eat, or we have the feeling we're gonna eat. So about 3 o'clock. So we have from 9 to 3 the eating period without eating, and try to manage that. And I'm interested if he's gonna react the same way like I did, that he's full, because he eat a lot of fat and protein in the morning. So I'm really interested how a 10-year-old body goes, and he eat the whole thing. It was strange. It was such a big plate with steak. So yeah, that's the other thing. Yeah, with my friend, we walked. He said also he's so interested because he was also vegan and keto, and he tried everything, and he has heart disease. So it's really looking at me how it's for me, it's not an experiment. For me, it's life-changing. But he said, yeah, I'm gonna see how you feel, just keep me in the loop how you feel next week and next week and next week, just to see, can you maintain it, can you stay, is your, you know, mood and everything you have right now and feel amazing, is it still that way? Does it work, you know? And how do you feel after 30 days? Do you still think that's the way you can live forever, or do you miss something? And one thing he also said, that maybe if somebody stick to it and watched all of that, is he asked one question, just not me, just in if the cows do have all the mineral, or the meat in my country do have all the minerals and things they need, because of, I don't know exactly, I can't remember what he actually said, because he's more into that, and understands this thing. It's very difficult for me to follow. It's the sunlight, and the cows take the sunlight, and you know, then you have the minerals. But our cows here don't really get that much sunlight. So he thought maybe that's going to be an issue. I don't know. But honestly, I think that your body will tell you if you need some kind of vitamin. If you need, like my body's telling me you need an apple right now. And it's really telling me, it's like screaming at me, like, eat the fucking damn apple. And it's not that kind of screaming like, you need to eat sugar. It's different. It's a totally different voice. The sugary voice is really coming from here. It's really, you feel it coming from the brain. And the you need an apple comes from the whole body up in there, and giving the information from my body to my brain, and not the other way around. If you understand what I mean, it's totally strange. That's how it feels. And that's why I know my body's telling me what I need right now, because I didn't have enough of it somehow. Even if the meat I'm eating, maybe it was not enough of some kind of vitamin or something that the apple has. And the same thing with the banana. He said, don't eat the banana. You don't like the banana. It's disgusting. I'm going to show you how disgusting it is, because you don't need it right now. And I don't want it. And that's why, I know my tongue and everything makes the banana just tastes horrible. And that's what I think the body does. It just, you know, changing also the things how you taste it, so you will be disgusted by the things. And I don't know what to say. I am, you know, over the moon. I just went yesterday to buy something new clothes, because I'm so happy, and I feel for the first time in a long time beautiful. Honestly, I feel like myself again. You know, and it's not beauty in a kind of way, you know, how your looks are. It's from the inside. It's from the, I'm happy. I wanted to go around and, you know, give people a good feeling. I want to smile at them. I'm so happy. I want to share this happiness with everybody. I'm like a really somebody that's completely on drugs, and is crazy. I feel like that when you watch movies, how they acting. That's how I feel right now. It's like everything is rainbows and and birds flying around, and the first time I'm hearing it, it's just I don't know, it's pure clarity in the brain. The fog is gone, the negative emotions are gone. And yeah, that's what I said to my friend. I'm so hoping, but I'm not expecting, I'm hoping that this is how my life is going to be like. I feel like myself, like I never did before. And I hope it's not just a phase. I hope it's not just some dopamine bam. I don't know, because you don't eat sugar and now everything is going up, and I'm losing weight and never eating more and never being that satisfied, and my skin is getting better. My body, even if I'm same weight like 14 days before I got into this depression mode, I'm the same weight like then, but my body looks different. It feels different. It feels more, I don't know, less watery, less ugh. I can't explain it. I feel more toned. um yeah, and that's, of course that's gonna help with that. And I'm just scared a little bit that if the weight goes maybe up and down, which I don't know, maybe it will happen, but for now it's just going down, which is also not normal for me. For me, it's normal that one day it goes up and down and up and down. Especially when I eat more than 1,500 calories, my weight goes up like 0.2 grams, because I am doing tracking my weight every day. And this doesn't happen right now. It's just going down. And I'm eating more. I'm eating much more. I'm eating about 2,200 calories actually. And I don't understand it. It's not how my body works. My body is not working that way. It's now having so much more calories, and I'm losing so much more weight, because it's kind of a good balance. I try to, figure, of course, if that I have enough protein, that I have enough fat. I do look at that, and I think it's important to look at that in the beginning. Some people also in the comments told me not to, but I watched a lot of people who went through the experience, especially women, and they tend to lose hair when they don't have enough protein in the beginning. And that's something that I'm now very careful and aware of it too. I don't want to lose too much rapidly weight, and I don't want to don't have the protein intake, because these are the two things that then happened to hair loss. And a lot of girls did talk about it in their videos. So that's why I'm happy that the people and sharing their experiences, so you won't make the same mistakes. And that's why I don't make the same mistakes they did, because they informed me about it in their videos. So that's why I'm also doing it, just to have the whole journey tracked for me, for myself, for others. Maybe after 1 month or 1 year I can look back at others. Maybe it will help somebody that has issues like I did. And believe me, one thing, I'm at the hospital all the time. I'm seeing what is happening in the world all day long, and it's horrible. It's horrible how many people are suffering out there, and how it's getting worse and worse. And everybody's saying, yeah, it's about corona, it's about this, it's about that. Everything is getting really, really worse. And I don't know, maybe this little thing just changing to something completely different is gonna change a lot of people's life, like mine did right now for 5 days. Maybe it's not, maybe in 30 days it's not, but for right now it is. It's how it feels. And that's why I'm so thankful. And also one little thing I also discovered yesterday, I had a little panic attack because something in my work happened. And most people will say it's a basic thing what is happening. For me, I got a panic attack because I was scared. I have a big presentation for a lot of people that I didn't expect them to be that much people. Not people because I can't present, but it's important people. And I know how these people are. They're not good people. Some of them are really not nice. And that's why I got a panic attack, because I got myself into worries how they will react when I'm, telling them all these things that's going wrong. And then I got scared. And I tried to calm myself down with, the breathing techniques, even from Dr. Andrew Haberman and so on. These things. Or Wim Hof, he has I love Wim Hof's breathing techniques that calms me down a little bit when I'm getting panic attacks. But also what happens, something the doctors say the complete opposite to do is you need to breathe. You need to breathe when you're having anxieties and panic attacks. So I thought it's, it's not about breathing. It's actually, for me, it's stop to breathe, to stop my brain going on overdrive. So I'm holding my breath. I'm holding my breath, and it helps me for some seconds to calm me down, from the overdrive. And then I start breathing, naturally. But when I'm in overdrive and I breathe like that, I cannot calm myself down. So this is also one thing that is actually the completely opposite that everybody's telling you. So if you have that kind of things, just try. If it's not working for you, try the complete opposite, the extreme complete opposite. Maybe this will help. For me, the same with Carnivore, it is helping. So 15 minutes, it's enough. And now I'm going to prepare myself to go out with my son to buy the stuff for tomorrow. We're gonna, drive 10 hours and we need snacks. That's going to be a completely new thing. And I'm going to go 1 week without phone. I'm going to leave my phone at home, my computers and everything, just to clear my mind, get some books, and that's it. So that's going to be very, very interesting. And I'm so excited because that's like a really hardcore thing to do after starting a journey like that. So I'm going to share when I'm back how it's going and what happened, and I'm so excited to share it. And so thank you for being patient with me. Bye.